Why was Roman legionary gear so effective? Because it wasn't just equipment, it was strategy in steel and leather. Every piece, from sword to sandal, was built for speed, discipline, and domination. The Roman legions were not just soldiers, they were engineers of warfare, perfecting every tool and every tactic. This wasn't just about swords or sandals, it was a smart system, steel, leather, and discipline working as one. Their gear was standardized, modular, and brutally functional. Every piece served a purpose, and nothing was wasted. Rome didn't improvise its greatness, it manufactured it, with forges, patterns, and roads that fed the war machine. Let's break it down: the sword, the shield, the armour, the tools, and the tactical genius that tied them together. Start with the gladius sword, the short Roman sword that didn't just win battles, it carved out an empire. Short, straight, and deadly, the gladius was built to stab forward in tight formation right through the chaos. The gladius came from Spanish steel, but centuries of Roman warfare turned it into a weapon of ruthless precision. Roman soldiers didn't swing wildly, they thrust between shields, precise, deadly, designed to end fights fast. 1 2-inch stab to the belly was enough, fast, fatal, and horrifyingly effective. Rome didn't just forge gladi, they mass-produced them, engraved them, and slotted them into identical scabbards ready for war. Enter the pilum, a Roman invention built for one purpose: pure, controlled battlefield chaos. The pilum's iron neck was no accident. It bent on impact, ruining enemy shields in their day. Once thrown, the pilum punched through enemy shields, bent, broke, and made sure no one could throw it back. Just before the clash, Roman legionaries let loose a storm of pila, shattering shields and scattering formations. Some pila were built with wooden pegs instead of iron. When they hit a shield, the pegs snapped, causing the shaft to droop, making it impossible to reuse and turning the enemy's own gear into a useless burden. The result? Enemy shields became liabilities, heavy, pierced, and dragging down their defense line. The pilum wasn't made to impress. It was made to break shields, disrupt formations, and never come back. Next comes the scutum, the Roman legionary's most iconic defense. Towering, curved, and built like a wall, this shield was more than protection. It was a weapon in its own right, forged for formation warfare. The scutum's core, layered wood for strength, animal hide for resilience, and metal edges to take the hits. The scutum wasn't just big, it was body armour in shield form, wrapping from shin to chin in a defensive curve. When legionaries lined up, their scuta became one, an ironclad barrier of shields locked into a living wall. At the centre, a metal boss, not just for defence, it let legionaries smash forward and knock foes off balance. In testudo formation, the scutum became a roof and wall, an armoured tortoise advancing under enemy fire. These weren't just shields, they were banners of thunder and wings, painted with pride, power, and psychological warfare. When legionaries marched, their scutum wasn't wielded, it was strapped to their backs in tough leather covers, ready to deploy. Now we explore the armour, lorica segmentata, iconic, intimidating, and engineered to balance mobility with defence. Segmentata wasn't one solid plate, it was a system of curved iron strips, secured to leather straps for flexibility and fit. Each curved plate overlapped the next, letting legionaries move with ease while staying protected on all sides. Lorica squamata, or scale armour, was quicker and cheaper to make, small metal scales sewn to a backing like fish skin. Roman armour wasn't static, it evolved. would a legionary war in Germania look different from one stationed in Syria or Britain? Let's uncover what made these more than sandals. Roman calisgae were war boots, leather-bound and iron-nailed, made to grip and endure the long march. Built for campaign life, calisgae were durable, breathable, and gave legionaries superb grip over rough terrain and endless roads. Roman legionaries weren't just fighters, they were marching machines, expected to cover 22 miles in 6 hours, fully armed and armoured. The caliga's open design wasn't just for comfort. It kept feet cool and let water drain fast after river crossings or sweaty marches. Rome marched through all seasons. In colder climates, legionaries added socks, trousers, or enclosed boots to stay warm and ready. Even emperors grew up in the ranks. Young Gaius earned the nickname Caligula, little boots, from the tiny legionary sandals he wore on campaign. Now we uncover the Roman soldier's identity, not in rank or title, but in the gear he wore. Every clink of that belt echoed pride and purpose. The cingulum wasn't just standard issue, it was a badge of honour. Soldiers personalised these belts with studs, plates and pride. As soldiers marched, their belts jingled with every step, a sound of order, discipline and unmistakable Roman presence. Beneath the belt, soldiers wore a thick waistband. It cushioned armour weight and doubled as a discreet pouch for coins and essentials. Around the neck, legionaries wore the focal, a simple scarf that shielded skin from chafing armour plates and straps. Over time, the focal took on style. Colours may have marked units or rank, turning function into identity. Now let's talk tools, because Roman soldiers didn't just destroy. They built roads, forts, empires. Every legionary carried a delabra, half pickaxe, half axe. It was their go-to tool for digging trenches or breaking through rocky ground. They dug ditches, raised palisade walls, and built fortified camps every single night. Roman discipline wasn't just for show, it was survival. The Romans built not one, but 2 siege walls, one to trap their enemy inside, the other to block any rescue from getting in. At Masada, the Romans carved an assault ramp into the cliffside, moving tons of stone just to breach a fortress in the sky. To the Romans, engineering wasn't support, it was strategy. Forts, roads, siege works. Every advance was built, not just fought. The Roman legionary wasn't just a warrior. He was a builder of roads, a craftsman of weapons, and a living cog in the vast machine of empire, shaping stone, steel, and destiny with his own hands. How did Rome equip thousands of soldiers across continents? One word: logistics. Ruthless, reliable, Roman logistics. Rome didn't wait for terrain to cooperate. They carved roads, raised ports, and stocked warehouses to move grain, arms, and men with imperial efficiency. Every legion moved with its own mobile supply chain, pack animals, wagons, and strict planning that kept Rome's war machine fed and armed. Roman soldiers carried their own rations, tools, and gear, so loaded down they earned the nickname Marius's mules. Roman grain flowed from vast depots by barge, then upriver and along roads, feeding legions across the empire. Roman legionaries didn't just fight, they cooked. They ground their flour, kneaded dough, and baked bread in shared camp ovens. Uniform gear wasn't just practical, it was strategic. Standard tools meant fast repairs, quick replacements, and seamless performance in battle. Fabricae were imperial armories, standardized workshops across Rome's empire, forging the tools of conquest with brutal precision. Roman weapons weren't custom forged for flair, they were standardized. Uniform tools built for fast issue, easy training, and endless war. Roman helmets weren't just gear, they were legacy. Repaired, refitted, and passed down through generations of legionaries. Rome didn't just fight with swords, it fought with systems. Logistics, engineering, and organization were its true secret weapons. Roman helmets weren't just protection, they were evolution. Crafted from metallic roots and Gallic influence, they shaped security from centuries of combat learning. Protection wasn't random. Roman helmets shielded what mattered most: cheeks, neck, and brow, deflecting blades before they struck true. Roman helmets didn't vanish with each upgrade. They passed from one soldier to the next, refurbished, repaired, reborn. A Roman soldier didn't just wear his kit, he maintained it. Repairs were routine, but replacements, rare and hard-won. Roman soldiers didn't need matching gear. If it worked, it stayed. Uniformity mattered less than survival. Let's meet the Pugio, a short, broad Roman dagger carried by every legionary. Backup weapon, badge of readiness. The Pugio wasn't just a backup blade, it was symbolic and brutally effective in close combat. Many soldiers bought custom daggers, decorated hilts, etched inscriptions, even silverwork that told a personal story. Rome didn't issue soulless clones. Soldiers added flair, stamps, carvings, paint to make their gear their own. But at its heart, the system ensured consistency and reliability across legions, no matter the battlefield. Discipline wasn't just drilled into soldiers, it was built into their gear, standardized, reliable, and ready. Your shield, your sword, your boots, every piece built to endure. Roman gear was made for trust under pressure. Training, marching, building. None of it worked without gear, balance for action and endurance. Formations like the testudo relied on shield size and shape. Without perfect fit, the whole tactic collapsed. Pilum tactics relied on precision. If the javelins didn't bend on impact, the whole strategy failed. From sandals to scabbards, every piece of Roman gear had a purpose. Built to last, built to fight, built to win. Rome didn't conquer the world with gear alone. It did it with a system, reliable, repeatable, and ruthlessly efficient.